everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, I grew up a Catholic, went to Catholic school, was an altar boy, and even studied for a year to be a priest. Shortly after that, I became an atheist. Stopped going to church, stopped giving them money, which is probably the most important thing to them, and most of all, stopped believing in God and Jesus. But it wasn't until years later that I actually came out as an atheist. And since I never handed in a letter of resignation, it is entirely possible that there are places where I'm still listed as a Catholic. Since then, the Catholic Church has had several popes and weathered several scandals. The two biggest were the money laundering scandal, where it was discovered that the Vatican Bank was being used by the mafia and other criminal organizations to launder money, to turn illegal assets into legal ones. And of course, the church knew this was going on for years. They only stopped doing it when it became public. These are the guardians of our morals. And then, of course, there was the child molestation scandal. For centuries, Catholic priests, deacons, bishops, and nuns had been either brutalizing children or molesting them sexually. Now, if any other entity had had a history like this, it would have simply had to close its doors and fade away. But the Catholic Church survived and still thrives, as do other churches that have been rocked by the same kinds of scandals. And it's not just limited to the Catholics. I mean, you know, child molestation is actually written into the Quran. And in Muslim nations, it's perfectly legal to marry someone who really hasn't reached the age of informed consent. A couple of years ago, the congregation of a church in Jacksonville, Florida, voted to ban children from the church so they could keep their pedophile pastor, Daryl Gilliard, who they liked very much, evidently more than their children. And these scandals should not be surprising. Priest, minister, rabbi, or imam are perfect jobs for pedophiles. Their position generates a degree of regard and trust by the community that is not automatically given to any other profession. So it is easy for them to spend time unsupervised with children, and it's never questioned. For some reason, it's very easy to forget that these so-called representatives of God, before they became religious figures, they were just ordinary human beings, just like you and me. And despite their clerical robes and vestment, that remains true. Thanks for listening.